On Monday, January 8th, I woke up thinking it was just going to be another day. Little did I know that this day would become etched in my memory forever. The day started helping the girls get ready for school, and once I settled down and checked a few emails, I noticed there was a notification for a tweet mentioning me. At 8:46 a.m., I received the news from the Java Champions Twitter account that I had been named a Java champion. So if you follow my blog, I've written an article on this. If you follow me on X, I've tweeted about this a lot. So that will be nothing new to you, but I figured I would share this news with my YouTube audience because it is exciting news. Being named a Java champion is a great honor for me. It's something I aspired to for many, many years. It's been one of those things on my radar as a career goal. And this is exciting. And so what I'm going to do today is just a quick video version of the blog post. I want to talk about what being a Java champion is, how I got here, and a little bit of my story, because I find that when I have certain goals, being able to learn about other people's stories and how they got there kind of helps me form my own goals. So maybe my story will look similar to you. Maybe it'll look different, but maybe it'll give you some kind of inspiration as to a career path. So that's all. Just wanted to share some really good news. It's always nice to be able to share good news and not bad news. So we're going to share some good news today in the form of a little story. So I want to start with what is a Java champion? In my own words, this is someone who advocates for the Java programming language within the community, right? They can do this through a variety of mediums, such as speaking at conferences, writing books, contributing to open source projects, and more. There is a list of Java champions out there on GitHub. There's a GitHub repo for this. And in that, they reference a quote from the Java 1 conference in 2009 that describes what a Java champion is. And I want to go ahead and read that here for you today. The Java Champions community was started by Sun at the 2005 Java 1 conference to recognize key influencers in the Java community. Java Champions are influential rockstar presenters and Java technology educators, authors, and consultants, Java platform event organizers, and others within the Java technology ecosystem. For the third consecutive year, Java Champions have contributed to the Java 1 conference process as technical reviewers for paper submissions, having been recognized for their achievements and having shared their thoughts about the state of the Java platform at their BOF sessions. So this was a really good quote. Again, this was back from 2009. The Java Champions program was started in 2005. So just a little history reference. Sun eventually turns into Oracle, right? Oracle currently oversees the Java Champions program, but they do not have voting rights on who is awarded this title. Becoming a Java champion requires nomination from a current champion, followed by a voting process. I don't want to dive into this process too much just yet, but that's a little bit how it happens. And the Java Champions program comprises some of the most talented individuals in our community. So being nominated by a Java champion and then being voted in by Java champions is truly an honor. This is something that you can't just kind of talk your way into and get. This is something that you have to earn over your career. There's something else I mentioned in the article that I thought was just really cool, and I'm taking this one to the grave. There are about 10 to 14 million Java developers worldwide, and I am now the 385th to be named a Java champion. I mean, that's insane, right? That's just the coolest thing ever. This recognition makes all my hard work worth it over the years. Many people have asked me, what are the benefits that come with being a Java champion, besides receiving this really nice polo and a jacket that looks like this that I wore to church yesterday. The most significant benefit is just the recognition that comes with the title. I will wear this recognition like a badge of honor throughout my career, and it really means a lot to me for someone who has gone through a career progression that I've gone through. And I want to share a little bit with you on that. So I have this article on my blog. If you check it out, danvega.dev/blog/java-champion, it goes through that tweet that I got, and then it goes into a little bit of my story. I just want to share a couple of highlights from my story, again, as maybe inspiration to those who want to follow a similar career path. My story begins in 1996 when I was a senior in high school. The internet was not what it was today. It was definitely different then. It was just kind of coming up. Al Gore, of course, invented the internet then. And my mom stuck me in this typing class, and I was just like very adamant against this. I was like, I am not going to become a writer or a secretary. Why do I need to learn how to type? I was really into like engineering at the time, mechanical engineering. But I ended up taking this class. I ended up like typing somewhere around 68 words per minute. And this became a very important class for me because shortly after graduation, I got a computer. I got into like building computers. I was really like fascinated by how they were built and put together. And at the time, we had all these desktop computers. We didn't have the laptops we do today. We used to build all our computers. So I was able to fix this one, upgrade the hard drive, eventually like built my own computer. That got me into the hardware side of things. And then I was just really fascinated by the software side of things, being able to instruct a computer on how to do something. So I was younger. I was really into landscaping. I was doing this a lot. And I just remember a day. I don't remember how I got to that day, but I remember it being like a 14-hour day, me being outside and just like, wow, do I really want to do this the rest of my life? I've got to figure something else out because I didn't go to college yet. And I just knew that this wasn't the plan. So I had to figure that out. So eventually I discovered a 2-year college. I applied, I got accepted and started my journey. I would really liken this to a coding boot camp these days. So if you are in a career and you're thinking of a career switch, a coding boot camp is a really great option for making that career switch. I worked at a coding boot camp for a couple of years and I really enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed the process of seeing everyone come in from one side of their career and come out a software developer or whatever else that may have led to. Because it wasn't always like, hey, I want to be a software developer, right? Somebody could have got into like different fields in this particular space, but that was always really cool. I went through that. I had some connections in California, and I ended up joining a startup called Five9. I was the 7th employee. My initial role there was level 2 support specialist. I did a bunch of things there. One of the things that particularly stand out to me is that I started getting a lot of questions about the same type of question. I ended up recording like a video series on how to do something, and I would give that. I put it on like a web page, and I gave it to customers to kind of look at. And this was pre-YouTube era, remember, and that should have been like a really early hint at what I was interested in doing because I enjoyed that process and I enjoyed being able to direct people to that video to say, hey, you have questions about that? I did a video on that. So yeah, just kind of, you don't know it in the time is what I guess I'm trying to get to, but now being able to look back on that, that was an important step in my career. I did some work there with struts and being able to work on the front end of the website. But I eventually got homesick, moved back home, and started a web development career. I did this in something called Cold Fusion. Cold Fusion was really great at the time, similar to like PHP or .NET. And if you wanted to like build something for the web and get it out there, it was great. I ended up starting a blog using an open source blogging technology called Blog CFC. And that was a lot of fun. I was able to like build my own thing, get it out on the internet. And then I really found a lot of joy, just as I did with that video, when I came across something I didn't understand, being able to write about it and share it with the world. Because again, there wasn't the information that there is out there today when I started. So that was a lot of fun being able to do something like that. I went through a few different jobs where I was there for So letter 9, where I started development, I was there for 4 years. Steris was another job where I was at for 4 years. Did some cold fusion, also did some integration with our back office, like e-commerce stuff, which was written in Java and Oracle. And then I spent 4 years over at an insurance company with some good friends of mine. So there was a lot of things in there that was a lot of fun. And then I just kind of got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm a little burnt out from programming, and I need to like figure out what is next for me. And that's when I joined the coding bootcamp. Funny story with that is I had a conversation with the co-founder, David. Would soon come to find out that we went to the same high school together. He was one grade below me. So that was really interesting. And I ended up joining the coding bootcamp. And as I said before, I had a lot of fun there. I got to see the transformation of coming into this program, one career, and then leaving with another career, and actually being like really excited about that change. So that was a lot of fun. After that, unfortunately, COVID-19 hit the pandemic, and despite Tech Elevator being able to transition to a remote program, it wasn't the same for me. I liked being in the office. I liked being around the students. And so I ended up taking an enterprise Java architect position, which was a lot of fun. I got to spend a year really trenched in some distributed system with some large teams that were running Spring Boot, Spring Cloud for one of the largest logistics companies in the world. So that was a lot of fun. Then an opportunity came up where my dream job would arise, and it came on, and I answered. And I first learned about the opening for a developer advocate team at VMware from a friend. They were looking for someone for an advocate for Spring, and that role seemed perfect for me. I had already been an unofficial Spring developer advocate for a while now, doing this like on the side and my own. Securing this position, what is not as straightforward as I would hope. It ended up being like a 6-month process, but I always tell people if it was easy, everybody would do it. If I think back on life, the things that are the most important to me were not the easiest things, like being able to find the right person and get married and have children, being able to find a dream job. There are things in life that you're going to have to go through that are not easy, but I promise you what's on the other side of that is life-changing. So when opportunities like that come up, do not give up. Stick to it. You know what you want, go after it, get it, and things are going to be amazing. And I have my dream job. We talk about that a lot on this channel, and I'll talk a lot about it more, but I've really enjoyed being a Spring developer advocate. So that's it. Just some thoughts on my career. At no point in my career do I think I've been coasting. I've always wanted to do this, but it's never been easy. Every step of my journey has required extensive learning, late night coding sessions, lots of failure. Success has never come easy, which is why I have a huge appreciation for this. I think we're too much in a social media society where you see all the highlights and you don't see all the things that go into getting that. You see Dan was named a Java champion, but what you don't see is the 23 years it took me to get here, how much work and failing and feeling like I don't belong and just never feeling like I was smart enough to do this. That's what you don't see. And that is what I promise you I have gone through. And so because I've experienced in this, I have huge amount of respect for my peers and empathy towards you guys. I understand the challenges that we all face doing this. I do have a deep passion for learning and teaching others. So I hope to continue this throughout my career, and I hope this has inspired you. Finally, I wrapped up the article with what's next. The reward for hard work is often more work. Yes, throughout the nomination process, I gained some insights into kind of my career, looking back on some of the accolades. Firstly, I need to create a space to keep track of all my career achievements. And if you're early on in your career, I would suggest you do the same. You wrote this blog post, you contributed to this project, you did this video. Start to track that stuff. It's important to look back and be proud of the things that you worked on and that you accomplished over your career. If you get 20 years in, it's going to be a little bit harder to do that. So start early. So I want to start doing that a little bit better. Second, I've realized that despite writing for my blog and my newsletter for 20 years and I've written a lot, I aspire to contribute to more than just that. So I want to like branch out and write for some other publications this year. Another long-term goal of mine has always been to write a book. I don't know if I'm there yet. Maybe later this year we're getting there because I have young kids, so it's a little bit harder at this point. But that is like one of the last big goals on my bucket list, which is a little sad and frightening at the same time. But that's coming too. So I want to be able to write more this year. I've already got some plans for that, and I'm working on that. So as I put in here, lastly, I just want to be more involved in the Java community. I'm exploring ways to do this, and it will certainly be a big focus for me this year. And I said thank you in here. I also want to express my gratitude to everyone who reached out to me with some kind words. I got so many nice messages, whether it was through a phone call or a message, through Twitter, through LinkedIn. You guys said so many nice things, and they did not go unnoticed, even if I couldn't reply to everyone. I really appreciate this. You guys are just so nice, and I appreciate that. My hope is to carry this title with honor and serve the Java community well. So I think that's it. I just wanted to share a little bit about this in case this is something you aspire to. If it is, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to give you tips on what I think can lead to this, right? So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope my career can help you. And if I can help you in any way, please feel free to reach out. With that, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, friends, happy coding.